The White River Monster, or Whitey as it has come to be known, is a creature that according to legend lives in the White River, near Newport, in Jackson County, Arkansas. While the recorded sightings didn't seem to begin until approximately 1915, there were said to have been eyewitness reports of a creature being seen in the White River, as far back as the Civil War. On July 1st of 1915, Bramlett Bateman, a local plantation owner, is said to have witnessed the creature, being gray in coloration and as wide as a car, and 3 cars long. This unit of measurement has been rather problematic for many researchers as it has been unclear if Bateman was referring to an automobile or a railway car. The average width of a Model T at that time was 66 inches and had a length of 136 inches. This would place the length of the creature at just over 400 inches long, or about 33 feet long. However, if Bateman was referring to a rail car, then the creature would have been about 7 feet wide and over 120 feet long. It has been said that later that same year a huge net was being made to catch the creature, but funding for the project ran out. At about the same time, the creature was supposedly spotted in an eddy in the river, and a diver was brought in, but found nothing. However, this is highly unlikely as diving required a bulky and expensive rig at the time, and the likelihood that a diver happened to be in the area, just as the creature was spotted in an eddy, is more than questionable. Also, the idea that funding ran out on the production of a large rope net is highly suspect and seems to be nothing more than a poor addition to the legend of the beast. However, a different telling of this tale says that parts of this story did not occur until 1937 and that it became somewhat of a national sensation, which brought in several photographers, the deep-sea diver and even a machine gun. In this telling of the tale, the net was actually completed and used, but with no success, and Bateman was accused of attempting to perpetrate a hoax to bring in revenue. All seemed to remain quiet where the White River Monster was concerned, until 1971 when a witness said that they had seen a large gray creature in the river with a solitary horn coming out of its head. There were then reports of large creatures with spines on their backs, swimming in the river, as well as reports of large 14-inch tracks, bearing 3 toes, and strange cries at night, as well as large swaths of vegetation that had been beaten down. While the large creature with a singular horn leads one to think of the narwhal, a type of whale that lives strictly in the Arctic oceans, it is clear that it would not be likely to be in a river in Arkansas. As for the creatures with spines on their backs, those were more likely than not river sturgeon, which can be found in the White River. The 14-inch long, 3-toed tracks are a different story altogether, and if legitimate, might be related to a completely different monster that we will discuss in another episode. As for the large swaths of vegetation that were beaten down, there are a number of things that could have caused that, including floodwaters and cattle to name a few. In 1973, Senator Robert Harvey created the White River Monster Refuge, which lies between the 2 areas known respectively as Old Grand Glaze and Rosie, respectively. The cryptozoologist, Roy Mackal, believed that the creature was nothing more than an elephant seal that had somehow gotten lost up in the river. Not surprisingly, this idea has been met with a great deal of indignation. Since then, there have been several theories to what the creature actually is or was. From it simply being a hoax, to a seal, to a manatee, to a sturgeon, no one seems to have actually nailed down the identity of the creature, and most likely no one ever will. So, if you find yourself near the city of Newport, Arkansas, make a trip out to Jacksonport State Park, and have a look for yourself. You never know what you might just witness hiding under the surface of the murky waters of the White River.